A good football game can be like an intense novel. The strategy of the game can be the perfect plot. This is especially true for high school football. It can give a different personality to an entire town. Delaware education reporter Chris Barish is here with our first look. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Shirley. Once tiny Smyrna straddles Newcastle and Kent counties and has mushroomed into one of Delaware's largest municipalities. That growth has not only transformed this former agricultural town and its school district, but through football has brought a new sense of town pride. On a sunny December day in 2015, the once unthinkable dreams of a proud agricultural town came true. That's the day ever-expanding Smyrna High School played in its first Delaware Division I state football championship game.
I was sitting actually just on the edge of our student fan section, so I was up there cheering with them. Just so heartwarming to look up and down the bleachers and see what we love to call our sea of red there supporting our boys and our coaches.
Those fans witnessed one of the most dramatic climaxes in Delaware scholastic sports history. Smyrna's opponent, perennial powerhouse Salesianum, had fourth and goal from the 1-foot line in overtime. Smyrna was on the brink of glory or last-second defeat.
So it all came down to that stop. And, I was struggling to watch it, but I did watch it.
I can specifically remember just saying over and over again in my head, please let the underdog win, please let the underdog win.
The moment was more than 3 decades in the making.
It was a sleepy little town, or a set of towns between Smyrna and Clayton for a long time. And very unique, blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed people here, and they all work really hard.
When I was a kid, you go to the grocery store, it took 2-3 hours because your parents knew everybody.
But with annexation and development, Smyrna now has 11,400 residents, more than twice as many as 20 years ago. The population of its school district has ballooned to 36,000. Walmart has even built a mammoth distribution center in town.
Over the last couple decades, it's changed and morphed into, almost like turning into a rural suburban area. And we've had this influx of people coming from all over, even from, New Jersey and Philadelphia area.
I started here in 1979 as an ag science teacher, taught all the local farm boys, and all this property that you see all around the school, we used to till that property.
We decided that moving down here, you get more for your money. Plus the venture of a good high school, a good education that was available, and the general area overall was more attracting to us.
Up here it's nice, everybody's friendly, and the atmosphere of the whole town, it's like everybody's one big family.
The school district now has 5,500 students, 60% more than in 2000, and 3 new schools. Renovations have nearly doubled Smyrna High's size, and the school has 1,500 students, 8th most in Delaware. There's a new library, science lab, and gym. The football field has artificial turf.
I don't know how to keep track of kids in there anymore. It used to be very easy when I first started, but it's a big school.
We graduated in the class of 1989. I believe our graduating class was somewhere around 160 students. I think at the time we probably offered 1, possibly 2 AP courses, and career pathways weren't even something that was in the conversation when you were talking about earning a diploma.
Today, Smyrna High is above the Delaware proficiency average in English and science, though it trails in math. But there are now 14 advanced placement courses and a similar number of career pathways. More graduates go to college.
They have a wide variety of curriculum choices here and all the AP stuff. So, in all areas, not just sports, but in everything, they're excelling.
It's a lot nicer, newer than the old school I had. Teaching is a lot more in depth. There's also more classes that I can choose from.
I've had really good teachers the past 4 years as well. I'm in the allied health pathway and also the early childhood pathway, so I want to be working in a medical field but with children as well.
You know who's the best, so yell S-H-S!
In sports, Smyrna has long been a wrestling power, but the population boom became the foundation of a football titan.
We felt with the bigger numbers that we were getting in the school, there's athletes out there. We had to get them out into the, out of the hallways, off the court, and come play with us.
When teacher Mike Judy became head coach in 2014, he inherited a 2-8 team. But Smyrna improved to 5-5 his first year. People like Tom Sayers, a former Smyrna linebacker who runs a jewelry store in the quaint downtown, began packing the stands.
Obviously everybody likes a winner, but that's not. It's more the kids. I mean, they're excited to play. They're celebrating every little thing each other does, and they're really rallying behind each other.
There's a lot of new folks around, but you know, you can see from the crowd that's here tonight, you know, everybody's here and supports the team.
In 2015, Smyrna lost only to Salesianum in a 76-56 shootout. When they met for the title 6 weeks later, the town came out in full force. Police and firefighters escorted the team bus to the town limits. Fans rode in a caravan to the University of Delaware Stadium.
You got up there and you saw the sea of red, and the whole visiting stand was full. There couldn't have been too many people left in town, I can tell you that.
Smyrna overcame a 14-point deficit to send the game into overtime. The exhausted teams lined up for the final play. Salesianum inches from victory. Coach Judy figured star running back Colby Reeder would get the call.
We had a kid, they made plays, and you know, he shot the gap and got to Colby before, you know, the big athlete could get up to speed.
When he stopped him, I mean, the place just went nuts, yeah. I was hugging people I'd never even met before.
The town celebrated for months. Bright red Smyrna Eagle clothing and gear hopped off the shelves. A billboard in town celebrated the triumph.
I don't know who's making and selling all the t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats, but you can't go anywhere without seeing somebody wearing some Smyrna football gear.
Last year, the team went undefeated, taking a second straight state title.
Hopefully we do it 3 times in a row, but you know, a lot's got to happen.
The Eagles have struggled early against tough competition, losing 2 of their first 3 games to neighboring Middletown and a top team from the Baltimore area. A playoff berth is still a possibility, but win or lose, the rise of Smyrna football and its ascendancy as a town is now part of Delaware lore.
Everybody from, like, if they're older, if they're younger, no matter what age, everybody comes and celebrates together, and it's just so cool to experience that.
Best part to me is that these kids really feel like they're giving something back to the community through their play, doing something that they love. These guys get to come out here and grind and work, go to battle with each other, and make a town and a community feel unified.
This might sound corny, but it's so heartwarming to see people of so many different backgrounds become neighbors and rally around their school.
Yeah, it is heartwarming. But beyond football, Chris, how has Smyrna's growth helped its students, and is there a downside to all of that?
Well, the new developments and businesses have really boosted the tax base. And while some old-timers might wax poetically about the loss of farmland, there's still plenty left, and some of that land has been used to build the new schools.
Right.
At Smyrna High School, the academic opportunities have grown exponentially, as have the number of advanced placement scholars. But the big takeaway is, as you go around town, everybody just beams with pride about the town, the school district, and the football team. And you can't put a price tag on that. And that sea of red is really contagious.
All right, Chris, great story. Thank you so much. You can find this and other stories by Chris online at newsworks.org/Delaware.